everybody, it's Shelley Hoffman with PAC-B TV, and today I am here with the guest, Dick Crook. He is with the Bikery right in the Baldwinsville area. Dick, how are you doing today?
Doing very good, Shelley. Thank you.
Good. So in the introduction, I kind of, before we got started, you said there's kind of a joke that goes with your name, and I thought it was
Oh,
cute. What did you say?
well, with a name like Crook, I'm either going to run for mayor, but except we have a nice, great mayor in Beeville right now, Dick Clark. It's fantastic. But my dad always said, with a name like this, you better be honest.
That is true. That's true. What can you tell us about your shop? You got a little bit of history for me? I know where it is, but I don't know how long you've been in
Okay.
business or anything.
Certainly. Well, like I said, I graduated from Baldwinsville, as did my wife. Uh, I was in the first class to go 4 years through the new high school, started in '54. I graduated in '57. And I worked at GE for 15 years prior to starting the bike shop, the Bikery. And there was a layoff at GE, so I figured at the time recreation was to be the latest thing to do because of John Kennedy and his presidential fitness program. And that's before bikes were popular. People weren't running. Due to that, I said, well, let's see what's happening in the bike business. So 48 years ago, we started the Bikery in 1973 and developed very slowly. We've got a very loyal customer base now after all these years. I'm 80 years old, so I've been in it a few years. Um, we started actually at the Four Corners. We've been at the Four Corners. Our first store was about 12 feet wide by 40 feet long, and it was right next to the police station where it is now, where the Beeville Deli is.
Oh, nice.
And then 2 years after that, we moved into the Masonic building where the tattoo place is now. We were there for 20 years, and we were in the right-hand side of that. First Trust Bank was in actually the corner side, and they wanted to buy the building, and the Masonic didn't sell it, so they moved into where they are now. And we took over the whole building on the bottom floor, and we actually broke into the bank because we were in the opposite side where Lysander town office was. And then after 20 years or so there, we decided to move out to Van Buren Road, bought a building out there due to the traffic in Baldwinsville, as you know, is pretty bad. And there was no real way to test ride bicycles. So that's why we moved out to our new location back in '93, and where we can test ride bikes, and it's a little bit more, very close proximity to 690, and it's a little bit out of the way, so it's a little bit more, I guess, family oriented, a little bit, we're on our own now. We're probably the oldest Cannondale dealer in the country, actually, because we started in '73, and I think Cannondale started in '74 or '75. And then we took on Trek, so we had two really good bike lines, of which we've had many over the years. But we decided to just go with the two big bike lines. And it's a family business. My wife, Susie, and her brother, Mark, who's been with us since high school. And we started with us. And since then, we've probably employed, I tried to make a count the other day, and I think we have pretty close to 90 to 100 kids that have
Wow.
worked for us, high school kids, college kids when they got out of school would come and back work for us, and also retired people, retired guys that were a good customer of ours while they were working, retired. They wanted very serious bikers, so they stayed in the business. They wanted to keep their hand in it. So we still have quite a few, at least 3 or 4 guys that are retired that'll come and work part-time for us. So we've, over the years, you know, we actually started with bikes. And then 2 years into the business, we got into cross-country skiing. And that was probably 40% of our business back, say, 1975, 76, for about 5 years. I mean, it was a fantastic business, but that has kind of fallen off because of computers, basically. Kids are now into, you know, into gaming and all that kind of stuff. So they've kind of left the family type image, I guess. And so it's changed quite a bit over the years, actually quite a bit. Kind of wish they would get back into more of the recreation part of it.
I was going to ask, when you started, you had mentioned that one of the reasons you got into the Bikery was because when you worked for GE, you were laid off. Do you find that with COVID-19 and the coronavirus happening, a lot of people not working, people looking for something to do, has your business picked up? Do you get people inquiring about bikes and stuff more for the recreation?
Absolutely. You know, it's really funny. 3 years previous to this, the winters have been terrible. And this year, spring started a little bit sooner than normal. And then all of a sudden, it's been, 12 weeks now that this coronavirus has been around. And New York State made bicycle shops essential businesses, which kind of shocked me in the beginning. But honestly, it helped. It has helped tremendously. People are getting, that have maybe had bikes in the past, are bringing them up out of the basement and wanting to get them repaired. And it's incredible. It really is amazing. Our business has been doing very well because of it. Of course, you got to make sure that you do the guidelines, you know, the self-distancing and wearing the mask. So it's kind of weird. It's, as you remember, a lot of times you see on the news, you go to Japan and you see these people wearing their masks. You say, what are they? Why is that? Is it because of pollution or what? But who knows? But now here we are. We're right into.
I've said that to a few people.
What they were.
You're the first person. You're the first person to say that back to me. I've said that. I said, you see the mask getting worn over there. You know, we assumed it was pollution, but maybe it's just always for, you know, health reasons for that regard. But I'm glad that you guys are considered essential. It's something that people can do by themselves, like golfing. Get outside, you can golf by yourself. You can ride a bike by yourself. You can kayak by yourself. So that's awesome that you guys are so open.
Yeah, I feel real sorry for a lot of the businesses in town. I mean, Beagle's got some fantastic restaurants, and a lot of them are doing curbside, and I don't know how well they're doing. I hope they're doing well, because we've been to a few of them. And you know, it's, some businesses are going to make out well, and some are not. I mean, I can't imagine the bars and the car dealers. I don't know how they handling this, but I think
no, I don't either.
It's certainly going to change
they can bounce back.
It's definitely going to change our lifestyles for quite a while, I think. Maybe hopefully for the good.
Yeah.
It might bring families closer together because of this. I mean, there's a lot of.
Yep. There's a little bit of a lag in our interview, so I apologize, which is why for those of you watching, you can kind of hear us talking over each other. But going back to the Bikery, Dick, you have you do repairs, which, you know, I mentioned you. I brought my son's bike in. What I mean, you sell bikes, but what else do you do at the Bikery so that people know that you have this, this great resource?
Well, we do have a full line of bicycles and accessories, and right now the repairs have really overloaded us, but we're handling it fine, which is great. We also do a lot of support for the bicycle industry. We do a lot of rides since we've gotten our new van 3-4 years ago. I mean, that certainly has helped quite a bit. The ride for missing children and the ride for rescue. We've been doing that for years. We did the MS 150 ride for quite a few years, which went from Syracuse down to Ithaca and back. And, you know, it's to be involved in the business. I mean, believe me, it wasn't for the money in the beginning. It was kind of a love of being outside. My wife and I both have marathon, and we did running. We had a running class, but a group that ran every Tuesday night. So we've done a lot as far as the bike business, and hopefully it's, you know, we're getting a lot of new people out there. Maybe they're getting their bikes out. Of course, they've had them for a while. The technology has changed tremendously over the years. Electric bikes are starting to become very popular. We're trying to get people to come in and at least do a demo on some of the electric bikes. So I know we're a little delayed here, but I'll let you say.
Yeah. So you said you have electric. You have the electric bikes. You guys sell them at your store.
Oh yes, yeah. Yes, we do. They're electric cars are coming in, but that's kind of bicycle seems to precede all this major technology, I guess. It's amazing how that is, but it's trying to get people to try something different, and that might be a way to get people into electric bikes. I mean, you know, technology is there, and it's going to change, and it's changed over the period of time we've been in business quite a bit. So it's a trickle-down effect, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I can say, just in listening to you give the history, one thing that will keep somebody in business as long as you is adapting to change, going with the change, recognizing that change will happen. And unfortunately, you know, businesses that were started when you started this back in the 70s are no longer in business because they can't adapt to that change. So we're lucky to have you here in Baldwinsville as somebody who is passionate about the business that you've created, and you've adjusted and kind of gone with the times as well, which is, I'm sure, why you have such longevity in the industry itself.
And you're exactly right. And I think it's our conservative nature also that we did not overextend. We did not, you know, I mean, I think that's part of it, is not to go overboard. And like a lot of people today, I mean, their credits are so high that they have trouble getting back to where they should be, you know, overextending.
Yeah. No, that's true. So, well, I'm hoping people can work through the technology and they listen the whole way through, Dick, because the information that you gave, I thought was very, very interesting. I would love when we get back to not social distancing and wearing masks, if you would have time to come into the PAC-B studio so we could really sit down and, you know, have a definite more talk-to-talk, face-to-face when we don't have internet glitches. Prohibiting our conversation and the tech up, you know, the startup stuff that we did. And I appreciate your patience while we were getting onto the Zoom call as well.
Well, I'm glad to see how this new technology works, even though it's a real pain. But yeah, I'd be glad to do that.
Perfect. So, and before we went on to the Zoom call, we were talking about how he walks past my house. So Dick, maybe I will actually see you face to face if I can recognize you with a mask on as you're walking by, you and your wife. But I really enjoyed this conversation this morning. Thanks for taking the time. Okay.
We are nearby.
Love it. I love it. Well, thank you very much. It was nice talking with you this morning. If anybody has any additional
Shelley,
questions for PAC-B at the Bikery, me too. If you have additional questions for the Bikery, you can reach out to PAC-B and we will get that information over to them. Everybody have a great day. Bye.